Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming out. On behalf of the city of Mount Vernon, I am just really grateful to say that today we have received 3 new fully paid for, fully granted, at no cost to the taxpayers, fire trucks and a rescue engine. A few weeks ago, we did receive one, and the other 2 have come in. And we've been able to just resolve a lot of issues and challenges that we've had in getting them. So I want to thank our Commissioner Morton here. He is our Commissioner of Planning and Community Development. I'm thanking him because the funds came from the Planning Department and the Urban Renewal Agency through CDBG funds, Community Development Block Grant funds, $1.6 million given to us by HUD to purchase these fire engines. Mount Vernon is probably, I would say undoubtedly, is the busiest fire department in all of Westchester and most likely in the region based on our size and our population. In 2018, we had 58 structure fires compared to 5 structure fires in New Rochelle, our neighboring community of about the same size. In 2019, we had 40 structure fires. And so the arrival and being able to put these new fire trucks into service is critical. We have not been able to purchase them on our own for years, and so this will make a great difference. We're going to have the commissioner and deputy commissioner talk about how these new fire trucks will improve our response to fire times. But there's a lot of work to do. Our fire department, our police department, our DPW have been terribly understaffed for years. We have vacancies that we are looking to fill in our fire department. We want to make sure that we have a class ready to go into the academy because we don't want to spend overtime monies serving Mount Vernon. We want to make sure that we have our full complement of firefighters up, trained, and ready to go to ensure that we are being fiscally responsible in serving Mount Vernon, and then also ensuring that we're not overworking and overstretching and putting our firefighters at risk for injury. But this is just the first step in upgrading our aging fleet, and I'm going to step aside and give way to our Fire Commissioner Deborah Norman, our Deputy Fire Commissioner Teddy Beal, and our Chief of Fire Operations Robert Odendo, and then we'll hear from our President Copeland, as well as our Commissioner Morton and Kevin Holt, the President of Local 107, our firefighters union. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon. I'm Deborah Norman, Fire Commissioner, and Teddy Beal, Deputy Commissioner. Both of us are so happy for today because this was a process in the making for quite a while. The mayor pretty much said most of it that I totally agree with. This is something that does not cost the taxpayers, which we're all taxpayers here, 1 penny. So we are so grateful to HUD and the CDBG grant that this is going to help us. We probably do anywhere from 800 to 1,000 calls response every month. So there's no doubt we are utilizing our apparatus. There's no doubt that we have a lot of fires. So this is going to help us save lives, respond quickly, possibly, hopefully keep our mutual aid down where we can now call people to use our spare apparatus. That saves money. That's us helping ourselves. At this time, I'd like to introduce Deputy Commissioner Beal, and he maybe can hit on a little bit more of the short period of time it took to get this grant and how we worked very well with the planning department. Commissioner Beal?
Thank you, Commissioner Norman, Mayor Howard, and this is a home run for the guys of the Mount Vernon Fire Department and the Mount Vernon community. It's the first new fire apparatus that we've bought since 2010, and we bought our Engine 5 and Engine 6 were also Pierce's, and that's one of the reasons why we bought Pierce, was to stabilize the fleet with all the same manufacturer, so it's actually a cost reduction when we have to get parts, and we utilize different parts of the equipment. These are all brand new, they're green, technology on them, the pumps are brand new, the motors are brand new, they have a new panoramic view. If you look at the front of the rigs, there's no post in the middle of it. wipers, a third windshield wiper, which makes visibility better. But this has been a home run for this department, and our guys need it because we work. We fight a lot of fires every year, so thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Before I introduce the chief of the department, Robert Kim Odendo, also I want to be remiss to say to our council president, Lisa Copeland, who just last year was the chair, she knows how much we've been trying so hard to get the apparatus that we need, the equipment, and the manpower. So again, thank you, Council President Copeland. At this time, please, Chief Odendo, the chief of the fire department.
Thank you. We just want to really echo the words of the mayor and our commissioner, our fire commissioner, and deputy fire commissioner. We're truly appreciative for the hard work of the planning department in pushing through this program and allowing, again, with no burden to the taxpayers, allowing us the ability to have the apparatus put into service and back into with the Mount Vernon Fire Department. With the call volume that we run, we're running close to 12,000 runs a year. That puts an extreme burden on the apparatus that we have. And to have a department relying on only one line of apparatus can become taxing, to say the least. So we're extremely excited. We look forward to continuing to serve the citizens of Mount Vernon, and we're truly excited about the work that the new administration, the Patterson-Howard administration, is putting forth. So thank you to the City Council. Thank you again to the Commissioner Morton, the Planning Department, and again, we look forward to serving our community. Thank you.
We got paid this week. Good afternoon, everyone. Certainly on behalf of the entire council, Councilman Marcus Griffin, Councilwoman Janice Duarte, Councilwoman Farquharson, Councilman Thompson, who wasn't on the council at the time, but I certainly want to thank former acting mayor Wallace and former acting council president Janice Duarte for their leadership. When this came about, it was a very short window of time, and the one department we knew that could pull it together was the fire department, and I'm happy that they were able to pull it off, because these were funds that were back from 2016, and we were going to lose them if we didn't use them. So we had to have a project that was on the ground and ready to go in order to make this happen. So I commend Commissioner Norman and Deputy Commissioner Beal for their hard work, and certainly the council is looking forward to the time when we can have a capital budget, once we have our audits done and we get our Moody rating, because we have a lot of equipment we need to buy. So congratulations, Mayor Patterson-Howard, your first big win. God bless you.
Good afternoon, everyone. So what I want to do is to give you just kind of a clearer understanding of how this money came about. So the money for these fire safety apparatuses actually came through HUD CDBG funding from 2016, 17, and 18. Now, someone may very well have the question, well, why did you have this money and how was it possible for this time? Well, through the cycle of issuing out money through CDBG, sometimes the projects, the things that it's intended for those years, do not come to fruition. They are not completed. And so then once those projects are no longer executed, then what we do is look for ways in which we reallocate the money for public use. These funds from 16, 17, and 18 were left over from projects that had not been completed, and so therefore we had to reallocate them. There's timeliness to all of the funding that comes from HUD, and so we were underneath of a time constraint in order to find a department and to find a very purposeful public use for these funds. The fire department was able to put together the packet for the purchase of these vehicles to ensure that we were following all of the local, state, and federal regulations around procurement. And so through that process, we were able to ensure that we could identify a vendor, an appropriate vendor, to also work with who would allow us to order the vehicles and then to be able to pay for them. And so once we had all of that documentation together, we then submit that documentation to the HUD office in which they approve the purchase of the vehicle. So let's be clear. The federal government approved for the city of Mount Vernon to purchase these vehicles for the purpose of public safety for the city of Mount Vernon. Given the fact that the city of Mount Vernon is 64% of the census tract in Mount Vernon meets the eligibility tract. And so therefore these vehicles can be used for the entire use of the city of Mount Vernon. Once we then procured the approvals from the HUD, we also then received the approvals from the City Council and from the Board of Estimates, as well as from the URA Board. The URA Board issued the award to the City of Mount Vernon. It was at that time that we then submitted all the necessary paperwork to the Comptroller's Office, who is the recipient of the money that comes in from HUD. At that time, the Comptroller had some concerns or issues with the paperwork. She had returned the funds back to HUD. We then had to go to HUD and talk to HUD about how could we potentially get the funds back. And it was a gamble because we were running up against the timeliness, a deadline in order for us to receive the funding. HUD understanding the need of Mount Vernon and also being in good partnership with the city of Mount Vernon, specifically with individuals such as Silvio Bolivar, who is our deputy commissioner, also having had a long-standing relationship with our incoming mayor, as well as the efforts of our former mayor, acting mayor, Andre Wallace. We were able to get them to agree to return the funds back to Mount Vernon. If we had not, then Mount Vernon would have been on the hook for the $1.6 billion. Thankfully, they were able to work with us and we were able to receive the money again. The Comptroller then transferred the money to the URA. URA issued the checks and we issued them out to the vendor. So the city of Mount Vernon should know that this is a great day. It's a day in which we have gotten much needed equipment for the safety of our community. And we did that free of charge based upon a grant from the city, from the federal government to ensure that our residents are safe. I want to commend both the commissioner and deputy commissioner of fire because they diligently worked hard in a very short amount of time to get all of the necessary documents and paperwork submitted to us. I also want to thank former Mayor Andre Wallace for his involvement and also want to thank our Mayor Sean Patterson Howard for her influence from all the years that she has had relationship with the HUD office. And so CDBG, the Office of the Planning as well as Urban Renewal, we are excited to partner with all of our city agencies to ensure that the money that we have from the federal government is appropriately used and is expended in a timely manner in which it best benefits the city and the residents of Mount Vernon. Thank you and have a great day.
Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Holt, president of the Uniformed Firefighters Association, and I would like to just say on behalf of the Uniformed Firefighters Association here in Mount Vernon that we are very pleased with the city of Mount Vernon, our fire administration, our mayor, and I'd like to give thanks to our past mayor for the purchase of these new apparatuses. Over the past 4 years, the Mount Vernon firefighters have fought over 200 structure fires, responded to well over 80,000 calls. So the wear and tear on our apparatuses is high, very high in comparison to surrounding communities. So our concern from the union is not only the safety of the citizens of Mount Vernon, but definitely without a doubt the safety of our firefighters and their response time and their ability to attack fires in a timely manner. Yet the purchase of these apparatuses gives us that ability, so I want to thank all those involved on behalf of the members of the Uniformed Firefighters Association. There's still a lot of work to be done. We've been pressing the purchase of new equipment, new apparatus for well over a decade. We will continue to do that on our end, and we're looking to have a good working relationship with this administration. Thank you.
So yes, as our President Copeland said, it is a good day in Mount Vernon, and it is. And so this is just one of the first projects that we are excited about. And as we move forward, we know and we have a promise to our firefighters that we will be working to fix your firehouses. We know that there are incredible capital needs in our firehouses, and we want to make sure that when you go out to fight fires, that you can return to houses that are safe and are fully functional so that you can get your respite and be prepared to go back out. We also want to make sure that we are fully equipping not only our fire department, but our police department. These are our first responders, and we have to be very intentional in making sure that you have the equipment and the resources that you need to do your jobs and take care of the residents of Mount Vernon. Public safety is a critical issue and a critical need, and it is a priority of this administration. And as it's been said, we want to thank former Mayor Wallace, because this started under his administration. And in any team effort, and we have to realize it's a team effort, when the baton is passed, you have to pick up the baton and continue to run the race. And so this is a culmination of the race today that benefits Mount Vernon, and this is what we will continue to do, whether it's Memorial Field, whether it's bonds, whether it's purchasing and dealing with any needs of the city of Mount Vernon. It is a team effort. And one thing that we said when we were running is it's about moving forward together. So again, thank you to our leaders of the fire department. Thank you to our city council, our former Mayor Wallace, our planning department staff. Our Deputy Commissioner Sylvia Bolivar is not here, but she had a key role. And thank you very much to Vincent Hom and Lisa Lockley, who we've been working with for over the past 27 years at HUD, and have a strong relationship because they were able to return funds to us that had been returned. And if we didn't have those relationships, and if we were not able to make the case, then this would be a taxpayer burden. But today, it's a victory for City of Mount Vernon, it's a victory for our fire department, and it's definitely a victory for our taxpayers. God bless everyone. Thank you to our entire fire department. We really appreciate you, and we continuously pray for you as you go out and you serve us in such grand fashion. God bless everyone, and have a great day.